Hi friends! So welcome back to
You know when I'm in the cut, there has to be energy, man. Cause you're hi friends. Hi friends.
So hi friends.
Hi.
So welcome to another episode of the Sound Girl Pod, and today I have with me. You guys have seen her before.
The most featured guest. I keep telling them they just recruit me
to be a sound girl. Exactly, to be a host. To be a co-host. Is a word like that, yeah?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so you guys maybe might not know, but Joanna is my sister. I really
No, but it's so weird if you can't know that we're because we look alike.
we don't look alike.
We do.
That is, as you're growing older, we don't look alike, do we? I think you look more Joanita than me, in my opinion.
We should bring Joanita. Sounds like, who is she?
So we have. So Joanna is my sister, and but we've not done an episode together, and so
This is fun, actually.
But it's not a sister tag, my guys. Not yet. But we should do a sibling tag.
Yeah.
Charles will do with her brothers, and then me I do with my sister.
Yeah.
So on today's episode, you guys already know that this season already is for healing for us, and one of the things I have experienced or I have seen in the growth of Joanna is healing in relation to her relationship with God. And she's mentioned it before. A snippet of it if you guys watch the finale. If you haven't, please go watch the finale.
Please go. We sang so nicely. Oh my gosh, it was glorious. Oh my gosh, the presence of heaven
was
within us.
Yeah, so if you've not watched it, you can go watch it. But in the meantime, for today, I want her to still speak about her journey and what exactly it has been for her in the years where she's grown. So I think I'll just allow her to speak. What direction you take, whatever direction you want to take, and I'll be here to direct.
To have a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank my parents for giving birth to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know those things you do in the bathroom?
No, you don't have to do that. Let me show you. Let's just move this thing here.
Okay, sorry.
There.
You can tell I don't do this a lot. But I'm so grateful, first of all, that I'm here.
Yeah.
Because I am such a proud ambassador of healing.
Yeah.
And everything that pertains healing. Because I've actually experienced healing in such an intense manner in my life.
Yeah.
And fortunately or unfortunately, it took a very long time. So I'm very conversant with the topic of healing.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through the full process. There are days when I would go through the 7 stages of grief in 1 minute.
Okay.
Yani, you accept, you deny, you get angry, you bargain, and finally you just get to this point where you're like, you have to take responsibility for your own well-being.
Yeah.
And what I've learned about healing that is such a hard thing to even fathom and put in your mind is that healing is very painful.
Yeah.
And healing, people, or rather, I would prefer being in pain and blame everyone and stay in that comfort zone of being in pain and sulking in it and feeling pity for myself because it's so comfortable being in that position.
That's true.
It's very comfortable just chilling and be like, yo, I'm hurt because my mom did this.
Yeah.
Because my dad did this.
Yeah.
It's very nice, but I'm trying to ask vizuri because you're like, I can put the blame on someone.
Correct.
It's not on me.
Yeah.
But healing is actually a responsibility.
Okay.
It's not until you wake up and you say, okay, cool, I went through that, fine. There are people who are responsible for it, fine. There's some who apologized, fine.
Yeah.
There's some who never apologized, fine.
Yeah.
There's some who even don't know that they're the cause of your pain.
Yeah.
But not until you come to the realization that your healing is actually your responsibility.
Correct. Yeah.
And you have to take the responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything that comes easy.
Yeah.
In this earth.
Yeah.
I think both of us, we've gone through a lot of things that we've had to heal from. First of all, being a pastor's child in itself.
I know.
They need to open a support group for pastors' kids.
For sure.
The pastors' kids support group.
Yeah.
I think for me, problems actually started from there.
Okay.
When I was being hurt because of being the child of a spiritual leader.
Yeah.
And everyone expecting that I had to rise up to that standard of being the kid of a spiritual leader. And they imposed those expectations on me.
Yeah.
Na nikasema sasa vinye mnataka exactly what you want, I'm going to do the direct opposite. You want me to come to church? I will come to church.
For sure you didn't come forward. There's a period you didn't even step.
Friends and family, hey, what do you mean? Unashamedly. You want me to sing in the praise and worship?
Yeah.
When they call me, I'm not coming for practice.
Yeah.
Because you feel like there's so much pressure in the world.
Yeah.
And then when I went to school, I remember I got to understand pain from a very young age.
Yeah.
Because naturally, even as sisters, we know this. We are 3, but I am the crazy one.
Yeah.
And I've always been very free-spirited. And to be honest, I'll do what I want to do.
That's true.
And
liberal.
Yeah, I'm very liberal.
Yeah.
I like life.
Yeah.
Life likes me, clearly.
Yeah, it responds well.
Yeah, we have, this Colonel Swan together.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was, I think around class 3.
Yeah.
There's a teacher who made a statement. I made a mistake, just like a normal child would.
Yeah.
And they made a statement, and they said to me, una behave aje kama wewe sio mtoto wa mchungaji. Na nikajiuliza, kwani watoto wa mchungaji si watoto?
Yeah.
Hata wewe, And it made me feel very bad at that very small age. Then I started noticing that there are so many people who are judging you just because of where you come from.
Correct.
You get?
Yeah.
And so as we grew older, because I wanted to do the exact opposite of what I was supposed to do, of course I fell into the wrong company.
Yeah.
Especially during my teenagehood.
Yeah.
I talked on the episode we did last time, na nilikuwa naambia noni vile mimi nilikuwa shule tu, haikuwa shule. That was just a club. By the way, it wasn't a school.
Yeah.
And you fall into the wrong company, and now you go through life. Because of your decisions.
Correct.
Manze, kwanza mimi relationships nimeumizwa. Kuna mtu aliniumiza. Nikikwambia you go through the 7 stages of grief in 1 minute.
Yeah.
You know the 7 stages of grief?
No. I've heard them from you.
Anger, what? All of them, there are 7. You can go and Google. All of them in 1 minute. Because if you go through them in an hour, maybe by the 3rd stage utakuwa umekufa. So you just go through them like a lightning. Shwap! So that you can be able to. Zikupige tu kama umeenda.
Yeah.
And I was really hurt a lot, especially in my teenagehood, because my personality itself is I'm a very strong person. I'm so intense. I'm not the type of person who's, oh, hi guys, how are you all today morning? No, I enter the room and I command it. And people want to press you down. They want to put you in their positions. They want to make you feel like you don't have to be all the time, And so that caused me to go through a lot, even in terms of relationships. I had to put myself under so that I can accommodate more people, so that more people can like me. Which is so foolish, because people, this people pleasing thing is so crazy, because you think that you have to live for other people.
Correct.
And then you go through so much pain because of that constant wanting to impress other people and to be this type of person so other people can like you, and man, you get so hurt in your heart. And so basically, long story short, healing is a responsibility.
Correct.
And pain, everyone goes through pain.
Correct.
There's no one in this world who is exempt from that. It can be small, it can be big, depending on your decisions or circumstances. But
your healing, how to accommodate pain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So healing is a responsibility.
Yeah.
All those things I've said, I just wanted to say that healing is a responsibility.
It's personal responsibility.
It's very personal.
So now you've already mentioned that you and God were at loggerheads. So how did you go?
Wow. That's not even loggerheads. I think loggerheads is friendly.
Oh, okay. So where were you?
Wow. There's a point he wasn't even in the picture. Okay. There are some sinners who, by their God is in the picture, they go to church. Like they sin on Saturday, but on Sunday. And I respect it, because at least you have... for me, there's a point there was no recognition. There was no acknowledgement at all. I had said, God, you hate me, because why am I going through all this? Yet I am the so-called child of a spiritual leader.
Correct.
Why am I hurting? Why is it... Alafu heartbreak ni uchungu hata kuliko kumwa na kichwa. Na kunanga panadol ya kukunywa. I wish like they had medicine for heartbreakiwa. You just shwip. But there's nothing. Like it's your flesh. It's being eaten up by parasites. Demonic.
So how did you eventually... I think that's what now will make... like people understand
Yeah.
the whole process and how you're able to come back.
There's this saying I saw somewhere. I don't know if it's a real thing ama ni mtu tu they were feeling poetic and then they wrote it on Facebook and it trended. Someone said that you should thank God when you reach rock bottom. Because there is nowhere to go
except going up.
but up.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, for me, I reached rock bottom.
Yeah.
Ikafika mali sasa, hakuna mengine ya kwenda. Umefika uko chini kabisa. You are down there. So the only thing you can do now is just go back up.
Yeah.
Genuinely speaking, that's my story. I don't want to say, oh, God spoke to me in a dream. He didn't. I wish he did. It would have been better.
Yeah.
I wish he did. But I think for me, it got to a place that I even contemplated suicide.
Yeah.
I contemplated ending my life because of pain. Because of pain that you can't access. Unaona ukikatwa hapa, wenda tu tafuta ile nini, elosto weka. But uko ndani, uwezi hata, you can't even guara kuiich that inakusumbua. It's so embedded. I think I got to such a dark place and it was so unfortunate that everyone could notice.
Yeah.
I think even you guys could see how I looked, how I was carrying myself.
Yeah.
It just was so noticeable.
Yeah.
I used to get sick. Sicknesses zingine mtu hata ujui zinatoka wapi. You've been wearing sweaters but you have a cold.
Yeah.
You
have to take medication for months.
Yes. And unajua, the worst thing about what goes in your body is that's what manifests.
Correct.
Some sicknesses by that people have. It's no, you're not sick. You are not sick.
Yeah.
Just
it's a heart condition.
It's a heart condition. So I think for me, I really got to rock bottom, and it didn't help that I didn't have a relationship with Christ. It would have been better if through those years I was building and cultivating a relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
I was not. And what really helped me, fortunately, and it used to be unfortunately, is the same thing that hurt me is the same thing that healed me.
Okay.
The fact that I was given birth to in a family of a spiritual leader, hiyo ndio tu ilinisaidia. Big shout out to the doctor. The doctor. She saw me. She saw what was going through me. We keep joking and saying with her that I went through the valley of the shadow of death. So we by the way, we always, she says, hey, God is good, God is good. You went through the valley of the shadow of death. She knows about. She saw me and she started walking with me. Yeah. That's one thing about healing. When you're in the process of healing, in as much as you can, try and find another human being who is way above you, who is there past healing. They're in the other, whatever is healing, whatever is above healing. And that was mom for me, by the way. She saw me. She stopped being mom for a second. She became my full-time therapist, and I need to pay her a lot of money. But she saw me and she said, come, my daughter, let's work together. And she started helping me grow. And initially it wasn't growing in God. It was first, let us remove you from the rut you are in. Because sometimes religious leaders can first of all start telling you, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Not knowing that you're not even mature enough to comprehend who Christ is. Right? Because sometimes you have to deal with the flesh before you can deal with the spirit. Because it is the flesh that is there with you. Right? The flesh has to be healed for you to access the spirit. That's fact. So, she talked to me like a normal child. I did therapy. I went to therapy. I can't mention the therapist, but I did therapy. She said, let's go. I'll pay a therapist for you. We went for therapy. We used to take walks. You can remember that a lot. I started going to the gym. Just small things. And then my mind started feeling better. I was able to process things more. One thing I appreciate about working out is it really helps your mind, because you're able to really. Kwanza nilikuwa nafanya boka. Unajua boka ni nini? Boxing. Uppercut.
You're talking about boka?
Yeah, I was doing boxing. I
remember.
Yes, I was doing boxing, and nilikuwa natoka nikifeel, nimetoa stresses out. Kuna mse alini hurt na feel nimetoa stresses hapo. Then slowly by slowly, she started introducing concepts. We started doing Bible study together. She would give me homework. She would tell me, like, go and study the book of Proverbs chapter 1 to 3, then come, let's talk about what you mean.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't be at a setting like this. We would talk about it on the walks we'd go. So she'd ask me, by the way, what do you think about this and this? We talk about knowledge, we talk about understanding.
Yeah.
So slowly by slowly, I started having an understanding of who God is for me. You see, through that, nikaanza sasa ku-understand Mungu ni nani. So nasema, by the way, mse ni mpoa. Wow. Unasoma basi unasema, mse ni mpoa. Mse ananipenda. Yani, you know, like, even in such simple verses, kama ukisoma tu Genesis chapter 1 inasema ati he breathed life into man and he made him in his own image. I started seeing myself like I'm God, you know, because it's like he has breathed his or he has made you in his own image. If you look at an image, if this is a mirror and I look at myself, right, whatever I'm seeing, that is me. So I started having such a deep understanding, not to say that I am God, but to say that I can see that God is in me. I can see that God is can be manifest through me.
Yeah.
And so I started cultivating habits that God loves, right? So I went to the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Nikasema tu nita-cultivate just these ones. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Only. And I will not do anything else. Yeah. So I started trying to cultivate these attributes to myself. Yeah. Loving people, being joyful even when you're sad. Yeah. Praying for peace, having kindness, talking to people nicely. And then you know what I realized is that if you want to know mtu mwenye ame heal ama someone who's going through healing, is that they will be such a light to other people. So I slowly started loving other people more, loving myself more, being kind to other people, being kind to myself, having peace with other people, having peace with myself, having gentleness with other people, being gentle to myself, you know, having self-control, you know, all those things. Yeah. And so, long story short is, I found Christ for myself and understood who Jesus is. And then through that, the evolvement of healing truly began for me. I've been able to not necessarily forget my past, because you really cannot forget in terms of the memory can always be there, but it faded and it stopped being my identity. I stopped being a hurt person. I stopped being a hurt person by the way. And even when I would feel hurt, I wouldn't make it. I'd say inaisha tu sai. Okay. I would tell myself that's not you. Yeah. Can you remember how good yesterday was? Yeah. How good last week was? Can you remember just something that you can be grateful for? Correct. And I said, this is just a memory that I am reliving, and it's okay. But there's so much more than that. Yeah. So I think finding Christ for myself was just such a good idea. It was such a good idea.
Yeah, it's made you such a better person.
It was such a good idea.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you say that your past is not your identity. Because honestly speaking, if we were to put people with the past they've gone through, I think none of us would have a friend. Maybe. Or won't even be married, or people won't get children or all that. Because there's so much that is pegged on. People really peg you with the past that you went through, but internally God doesn't remember that. Yes. Like he's remembering, or rather he will take you how you are right now. Yeah. And he'll forgive you. Like his mercies are new every morning. Like literally. Yeah. I don't think there's any love that okay, maybe a mother's love will be closer, but I think there's really, the love of God sometimes surprises me. Yes. Like I'm thinking about the way I made a mistake yesterday, but today is like, okay, you're still my son, come. Yeah. Yeah. Like my mercies are still new for you every single morning, regardless of what you have done. Yes. Like, sorry, that is so mind-blowing. Yeah. And I like the fact that you said our pasts are not what they identify us with. Because if I was to identify you with your past,
but if you were
we're not friends, by the way.
Yeah. I was supposed to be in hell in my 5th year.
You'll have been dead and gone.
Dead and gone. Probably the PA to Lucifer. Because why were we doing some things is the real question.
And you know, sometimes I used to ask God, as in this person can't understand that she needs to live a correct life.
Oh yeah, you saw it.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, I experienced it. What is so I experienced it, my friend.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Oh, and then now on the flip side, I was now an arrogant person and all that. So both of us have our own. Yes, I mean, flaws. I think if we share our story, oh my God, you guys will. It was might bad. Take us differently, but
they might not think that it's me here.
Not even you, me.
Oh yeah, you've also gone through such a transformation. Yeah. But thank you for being such a I feel like even as much as you were some negative things,
Yeah.
you really held me down.
But you
There were days when my parents would have slaughtered me alive, but you came in and said, guys, let's just be a bit nice.
as in, there was a time actually I was beaten.
Because of
And
me.
I was big, as in I was in campus, guys. And I was beaten because of Joanna's mistakes. And I was shouted at because of your mistakes. I know those are the past. But honestly speaking, I think what you said is really, really... And I think, and I like the fact that you mentioned that the healing is a personal responsibility. I don't think there's anyone who can... The other day I learned from a friend of mine who said, don't love someone because you expect them to love you. Don't do something because you're saying because so it's my responsibility to love Joanna regardless of what she's going through in her life. If I don't love her, then it's fine, it's my own responsibility. But if I need to heal, if I need to move on somewhere, it has to be me who decides, okay, now you know what, by the way, Joanna has done these things to me, but you know what, let's move on to the next. Mi nitakupenda tu venye nafaa kukupenda, but it's not pegged on the fact that I'm holding on to you.
And people we don't realize, let me not say people because I'm one of them. We don't realize that there's a precaution of holding on to things.
Okay.
And there's a detriment of not healing.
Okay.
Did you know that for you to actually progress in life and for you to actually do better, for you to realize your dreams, for you to live a good life, you have to completely fade away from your past.
Mm-hmm.
It is only when we fade away from our past that new soil comes and we are able to grow new plants on that. Because the more you live in the past, you're living in old soil. You're still in the old plants that zimechaka zinakaa vibaya. Do away with that. If you want your life to progress and you know that there are things in your life that you have not dealt with and they're causing you pain and you haven't healed from them, just do away with them for your own sake. Don't do it for anyone. Don't do it for the world to see you're a healed person and you're now looking cute on Instagram, because even when you heal, you start glowing and all that. But do it for yourself. Do it for your life. Let it be such a personal thing.
Correct.
That it's not about what other people think. It's about, man, in 10 years, I want to get married. But I can't have a husband if I have pain from my ex.
Correct.
In 5 years, I want to get a new job. Or in 5 years, get a new job. That's a bit tricky. It could be anything. You say, maybe you were sacked. In 5 months, I want to get a new job. Right? Imagine it will be hard for you to even find that opportunity, or you to even be in realization of that opportunity if you're still ailing from the pain of your past job. You have to let go and let God. And you have to let go of things so that you can make space for those new things to come. Where that pain was in your heart, remove it, ndio sasa kuingia vitu nzuri kwa roho yako.
But I believe, as much as there's the healing part of it and all that, I believe you have to go for a new season to come into your life. There has to be some shake up kidogo. So if it comes, we deal na vizuri. Move on to the next. Are we looking to see some guy in between the healing? Is there some person who's helping you heal? Glow like this?
At those questions, you're supposed to say the truth or you lie. I'm a child of God.
You can bypass that for today. Or do you want to say something about it? No. Do you? But at least there are religions that have helped you, right?
What I can say is I'm happy. Hey, let me tell you. As in these days, sometimes I even wake up with songs. Like I wake up singing. The other day I wake up with blessed assurance. Man, I'm so joyful. God has placed amazing people in my life. Like, I never even had experienced a healthy relationship. We can go there. I never experienced a healthy relationship in my life. And we can take that to the bank. And to be honest, Jewel, it was not until I truly healed and forgave those people and said, I forgive you. And sometimes I would even pray it out and say, I forgive you, and mention their names. I forgive you, Kamau. I forgive you, Omondi. I forgive you.
They're not called Kamau and Omondi, guys. She's just using names.
I forgive you. It wasn't until that I had fully forgiven those guys and gotten him. And then God just said, this girl now, it is not good for a man to be alone. So I think he was telling the guy, it's not good for a man to be alone. Then I think he said to him, I think I have your rib of your rib, the bone of your bone. Then I was the bone. I was the bone. Then God now took me as the bone, and now we bonded. We bonded. Bonded. And it's nice. It's really nice. You guys didn't tell me. This is what you guys experienced. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
But yeah, that's a good thing. So I'm really, really happy that you have graced this seat today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for speaking your heart.
Thank you. And we are so proud of you.
Thank
you. And Noni, man. I was going through the comments on one video the other day. Na nilikuwa naona tu how many people were inspired na hii platform. It can make me feel kukuja hapa kupeana my 0.5 cents because there's such a big ocean of wisdom and I'm just a small drop in the ocean. It's so amazing to be able to contribute and say something.
Yeah.
Please keep going.
Yeah,
we
have
are here to support you people.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
Yes.
All right. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Until the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.